thought we were going to fight the Shitianas. Turns out we will fight for who has the bigger crown, the Utula, Mazian Spearman.
Didn't mind the first 2 hits. Well, I did mind them, but I just stood there pretending they don't hurt. The third slingshot got me to the side of the leg and I could barely stand. I asked my cousin to help carry me back to camp. I could see the relief on his face as well. Dabloza, Apuliei Falksman warrior.
I knew they probably still had a few pilums left. Assumed they tossed most of them while we chased King Balakizia. Was wrong. They had plenty left. Costly mistake. Kotizo, captain of the Kingslayer's mercenary cavalry band.
In the summer of 276, following a declaration of war from one of the Horse Lord tribes to the east, the Scythian Citeroi, there was widespread fear and panic in Dacia. Dacians feared the Scythians' horsemen. Their raids for slaves were infamous in the region. Most Dacians even believed Scythian women breed with horses and give birth to centaurs, half-men half-horse abomination. To face the new threat, King Dotos called for a war summit, a meeting with the other man who called himself king in Dacia. King Balaki Seer of the Apulii, who rules from Sami Segatus, the most populated region of Dacia and its de facto capital. King Balaki Seer agreed to the call to arms. He mustered a huge host made of Dacians, Carpi and Moesians. The two kings met at the border between Sami Segatusa and Petrodava. It is not known exactly what was said, but it was clear that Dotos expected Balaki Seer to bend the knee, thus unifying the whole of Dacia under one king to face the Scythian threat once and for all. King Balaki Seer took offense to the unreasonable request. Not only he answered a call to help, he did so despite being at war himself with the Scordici. The two kings shouted and cursed at each other for hours, and by the evening it was clear. Tomorrow, the two armies of the Dacians will face each other in battle. King Dotos, on the advice of Chief Rigasus Wormtongue of the Potula Tents, prepared for this outcome. He sent Chief Scorilo of the Buried Events with a small yet elite force of nobles from Pelandava to flank the Apulii. The following battle was known as the Bloody War Summit.
Welcome to the 9th installment of Let's Get It On, where we kindly asked this man to bend the knee and swear allegiance to our own king, King Dotos. The battle starts with somewhat of a staring contest between us and the unbending king. He knows that he brought more men and he can swarm us with ease, so he is patiently waiting for us to do the first move, while we need to be really careful about how we engage this, because our own forces haven't replenished yet and we could be swarmed extremely easily. We are outnumbered 2-1, and these are on both sides. Most of the combatants are just lightly armed people, and we do show some initiative by hiding in the forest. These are the troops of Don Scorleone, the noble that is ruling from Petrodava. He has those fancy schmancy horse archers that are not really horse archers. These are actually almost cataphracts that have bows. If we look at their stats, they have 56 charge bonus. This is insane, and they're also insanely expensive, and we can only fill them as at least for now as general units. But these are some elite troops. We initially used him to scout the main enemy force. Then I decided let's try and steer the hornet's nest. Just take some pot shots at the back of the enemy lines.
I will kill him.
Any minute now. And in case the enemy does something silly, something that we can take advantage of, we have our main cavalry force, the light horse and the mercenaries here, waiting to pounce. The Apuliae kind of took the bait and advanced into bow and sling range. We bravely ordered our newly upgraded Malva line center forward to take the brunt of the enemy fire, while we concentrate fire on the enemy naked and vulnerable folksmen, while our own folksmen are hidden in the forest. And it worked! These are the Apuliae folksmen, already fleeing away, really had enough. All of their body is full of bruises from all the pebbles they got, and that's them for the rest of the battle. While the Apuliae are trying to form a more cohesive line, they kind of forgot about their king, so we charged at him with both of our heavy cavalry. Now their king is a lighter version of our own heavy archers, and what he's trying to do is kind of smart. He will try to shoot while right away from our own heavy cavalry. But I am fairly persistent, and I like this exchange, so to say. So I just never stopped chasing him. Eventually, oh, this is some bad shots from the forest. Yeah, even though we are taking heavy fire both from the enemy general and from his troops, while we just ride past them, we just relentlessly keep chasing him, even though he is much faster. There are boars. I never noticed. So anyway, while our heavy cavalry chases them, I also sent out our king. So once again we will have some king on king action, and once again the mercenary unit, the affectionately called Kingslayers, again chase away and pin down an enemy king to be slaughtered. Our king is so brave that he won't just charge into the scuffle. He will wait for an optimal moment to charge into the back line of the enemy. And yeah, let's see if we can spot the enemy king himself. I think it's this guy. So let's see, can we actually spot his demise? It's really hard to control the camera. So let's see, he's in the shade. Oh, lost him. We lost him. So the important thing is that he died. Well, as you might have noticed, not all the cavalry pursued the king. Some stayed behind, namely Scorlio's heavy archers and the light cav. And we will try to use them to bait the enemy. At first I was somewhat sheepish, trying to hide in the forest and be a bit sneaky about it, but very soon we found out the enemy army just isn't budging, so we became more bold, and we were really starting to get in their faces, or rather in their backs, even taking the light cavalry really close to throw the javelins, and it kind of worked. We are taking pot shots and they are not shooting at us. And we are even shooting above this unit and straight into the line of unsuspecting. Yeah, I think we even, we broke one of the skirmisher units with our horse archers. And they're still, this is where they're starting to react. They actually sent a unit of spears to engage us. At first everything was going according to plan. We were just baiting them a bit and then taking some shots from the behind, and then when they would re-engage, we would send the other cavalry to shoot at them again. A bit too cowardly now that I reassess it, but I was kind of busy trying to maintain both the fight with the king and the main lines to have a favorable exchange. And as I was really preoccupied, I forgot to move my light cavalry, and they will get engaged by spearmen, even charged at by spearmen. And this is not so good. This is the kind of stuff that only happens in a total war. Any other unit will just, in reality, I don't know, for me this kind of stuff kind of breaks immersion, but there's nothing you can do, mistakes are bound to be made. But this kind of forced my hand, and I discovered the wheel, a tactic I like to call sandwiching. I ended up discovering the true power of my cavalry. It seems that if I really box in a unit between two units of cav, even if they are spearmen, they will soon break, and I totally clean up a whole unit. I didn't realize it was that easy, which in turn led to hubris. I thought to myself, well, if cav are that powerful, let's really stir stuff up. Let's really force the enemy to move by charging at it. Just front charge with a unit of cavalry. And I thought, the mercenary cavs, they're the most expendable. So I sent them in, and look at what happened. We ended up losing most of the cavalry squad. And these were some of our elite units. We only had like 22 left or something like that, and they just as soon as they weren't in the king sphere of influence, they just routed off the map. So that was them for the fight, and all it did is led to this weird Mexican standoff, where I really don't want to charge them because I will get swarmed, and AI is, I guess smartly, not really showing initiative. I think he still has a lot of ammo and even some more pilums, while I'm starting to get low on any tricks. One trick I wasn't yet out of was ammo with my horse archers, and I managed to bait another spear unit. This time we went straight for the newly discovered sandwich. I sent in my light cav first to pin them in, and then my elite pseudo cataphracts with a 56 or 54 charge bonus to clean them up, and they just broke in seconds. So yeah, it does work. Then I sent in the only unit that still had some ammo, the youths, to clean up the enemy skirmishers, and it actually worked. They cleaned up a unit here, and then they will rout another skirmishing unit. They broke them, and then I think they even released 2-3 volleys at the actual line, and we used all of our ammunition, but the enemy just refused to budge. At this point I was getting a bit desperate, The only advantage that we had was that the enemy king was dead. But Don Scorleone and I felt a bit emboldened by how easy it was to clean the previous unit. So I just charged at them in a Hail Mary. But it was just another disastrous charge. Very similar to the mercenary cavalry, only this unit has more armor, so they didn't totally disintegrated. And yeah, this was another bad charge. Just as I was kind of losing hope that we will just have to charge it and risk being swarmed, they did decide to engage us through the forest with some of their hidden units that just appear. Yes, there were even more of them than we thought, but luckily for us we were really ready for them. We retreated a bit to bait them and then engage them from look, another unit just popped up. But yeah, we managed to encircle them and really devastate them with a pilum charge. And then look at them, just half of them just died. And they charged at our levies, and then the X-Men engaged them, but they already broke. So yeah, the pilum really did a number on them. And the other unit, I decided to, since the rest of their army was just sitting there, I decided, you know what, let's try and take them on with only my archers. My archers who don't have any ammo left. So just trying to really bait them slowly with my king, because I wanted him to rest basically, and also for the rest of my army to rest, and just engage them with my archers. And this is how it looked. They engaged just a unit of levies, while all of our archers are around them, also charging. I guess also the king had to get involved, because why not? Just easy kills. And yeah, this is way overkill to waste like half your army to get rid of them. But I did it. At this point I decided to send our king also to the back lines with the other cavalry, and I also decided why we do the maneuver to just send the light cavalry to chase, because I saw some, yeah, these were the units that charged at us and got the pilums, and then they broke. They eventually, we saw them running outside of the forest, so we're gonna cut them down. At this point, D-Day for the charge was getting close, so I decided just to throw my last pilums and then prepare for a charge. But just as I was thinking that, the AI surprised me by basically finally charging me. And welcome to the chaotic minutes of the decisive moments of the battle, where both lines just charge at each other. Our flexmen were concentrated on the right side, and we were really having a good day on this flank. So I decided to also bring the cavalry here, and I will soon be charging there, and then slowly swoop towards the left flank, because there we have really weak units. Only one X unit, I think it's this one. Yeah, they got charged really bad from the side, but we compensated, and here we are running away, because these are mostly archers and youths, and these are Carpi swordsmen. They have swords. Oh my god, turn around! Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think I just wasn't here for this charge. Probably busy with the cavalry. Yeah, and we missed it. We missed the first charge of my cavalry. by the looks of it, their extreme left flank already broke, and we kept hammering at them with the cav. And what a relaxing view of the battlefield we have here. Just men hacking other men. War is delightful to those who have had no experience of it. Did you know? War does not determine who is right, only who is left. This is another nice charge. Even though the noble units were really weakened, they still pack a punch. They're really heavy shock. Look at them already breaking. And it looks like even our archers managed to swarm that unit of Carpi spearmen. And we are basically winning this engagement, but we're really throwing everything at it, even the kitchen sink. I think the archers and the slings are fighting over here. And yeah, this was a very chaotic engagement here at the end. Yeah, these are the actual archers. At this point the enemy army is just running away, and we are doing our best to chase them. And welcome to the parade. This will be just a small parade because most of our army is chasing down the enemy army. So it's just a nice gathering where people shout compliments at each other. You did good! You also did good! You're the best! No, you're the best! And that's all, folks. And welcome to the best part of these videos, the showing of the numbers. This time not much can be said. We can't even see Scorleo's numbers. All the units performed well. The light cav are the official MVPs with 635 kills, with our own king not far behind. The archers actually got some really nice kills. The actual archers, the ones with the bows, the expensive ones, they got 240 kills, which is more than the Folksmen, which is quite an achievement. I assume they got most of these while they were chasing down the enemy, but still. And the notable unit is the mercenary cavalry again. They charged and they got owned, and now we will have to spend some time in trying to replenish them. Thankfully we didn't lose them totally, but these are some heavy losses. Not numerous, we only lost like 400 men, but some really high caliber losses. And this is the official ending of the episode. Hope you liked it.